All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be practicing designing some logos. You can see that this layer, do not use, is got all the stuff that I put there. So you're going to be on the draw here layer. So let's go to our properties and we'll start off with the Olympic rings. And we're going to start off with an ellipse. And using shift, we're going to make sure that that is a perfect circle. Using the selection tool, I can scale this. And again, I'm staying with shift to keep it a perfect circle. And getting it just about perfectly into position. Now we just need to make some copies of that. I'd probably start off by holding down shift and going straight in a line, and it'll tell you that that's evenly spaced. Good. Use the arrow keys now to shift that over. No, that's fine. Maybe I'll just scale the whole thing up with shift again. Okay, that's perfect. Now I'm going to use Alt and draw one here, and then oops, to make a copy. And then use Alt and Shift to make this in a straight line right about here. Okay, now let's select it all. And we're going to turn the fill off. We end up with just these black circles. And let's move it off to the side over here so we can see what we're doing. The eyedropper now to select color. Now, if I set it to the stroke, so that the stroke's in the front, I'm pretty sure it's still going to put it on the fill, so I have to flip them. Now I'm going to use Control to just quickly go back to the selection tool, select this, so that way I don't have to go back and forth. But if you don't do that, that's fine. Well, this one's black, so I guess that's red, and then yellow, Control click, yellow, let go, green. Okay. Flip them, the arrows right here. And let's select it all and increase the stroke size. Oops. Right about there. And we can even set the stroke so it's at the inside instead of the outside. Not bad. I think that'll match better. So now we have the Olympic rings. Let's go ahead and put those over here. Group them. Deal with. Okay. Now let's do this. So I'm going to start in the very center of it. And I'm going to use the Alt key to come out from the center. Now, if I don't hold the Alt key down, it does this. If I hold the Alt key down, it does this. See how one's from the center and one's from the edge? All right, now I'm going to just use the selection tool to get this so that it's exactly in position. And then I'm going to use Shift W, which is called, oh, actually, let me. Shift W is called the width tool. This one's pretty tricky to use. You got to click right on this white line. Click right on that, sorry, that dot right there. And you drag. Then you can adjust the width of that dot. And you can see sometimes these little white dots come out and you can grab those as well. I'm not sure why. Sometimes I see them and sometimes I don't. Now the tops and bottoms, we might want to make it a little thinner. So you got to click right on that dot. If you don't click right on the dot, it's going to do this. So make sure that you're like right there. Oops. You can always Control Z if you make a mistake, like I just did. All right. That was Shift W to get to the width tool. And now let's move that over there. Let's take this one and maybe like here. Like here, we have to go wider. So I hit Shift W again. And finally, and I'm just using Alt to pull it from the center. And let's try to Shift W on that. Did this side get so thick? Weird. Close enough. It's not perfect, but it's fine. Okay, so I guess we do need to go a little thicker. Let's pull this one down. Pull that one up. There we go. All right. It's a little wonky, but it's fine. Bring it over here, make it black, stroke, no fill, group it, Control G, or just right click, group. And now let's move on to this one. All right. Here we're just going to use the pen tool. And we're going to do a little click, little click. Make sure that that is centered. The purple line should show up. Wait for the purple line and make sure you come back right to where it says anchor. Otherwise, it's not going to make a complete shape. All right. Move that off to the side. Let's go ahead and fill that. And then let's grab this shape. For this one, I'm going to use a rectangle. Start here. I'm going to start here and go to here. Then I'm going to use the direct selection tool to grab this point. Holding down shift, I'm going to move it in a straight line. Now remember, you got to click on it first, then move it. And just make sure that those two lines are parallel. Now I'm going to duplicate it, right click, transform, reflect. Select all of those, move them over here. And eyedropper, red, boom. Group that and bring it over. Next we got this one, nice and easy. Just create a rectangle. And using the direct selection tool, we're going to grab this point, click on it once, hold down shift to go straight up. And that's all there is to it. Hold down shift when you rotate. Remember to rotate, you get on the selection tool, you go just outside. Hold down shift to give it a perfect 90-degree turn. Let's take both of these, Alt, Shift twice or 4 times, I guess, and get those into position, and it'll kind of tell you when everything's all lined up perfectly. Let's group it, move it, eyedropper, blue, done. We made the Chase logo. I think that's Chase. Finally, we got, what is this, American Express? Visa. Take a circle, take another circle using Alt and Shift to make it in a perfectly straight line. Let's select both of these. Now we're going to use the shape builder tool. They have to all be selected for this to work. Click, click, click. We just made 3 different shapes. Now, the hard thing about the shape builder tool is you have to deselect. So just click off of it. And now, let's see. Actually, I should have moved these first. Click off of it, select one, eyedropper, boom, hold down Control to select the next one. Hold down Control and group it. Move it. All right, got those 5 logos. That's 20 points. We'll say 4 points each. Now, the harder one, McDonald's, for 5 more points. We're going to start right here. And you want to be parallel to that bottom line and kind of as close to the center here as you can. We're going to hold down Alt. And then let's make this just a stroke. Maybe make this a color you can see a little easier. Let's try just white. Now I'm going to go to the selection tool and I'm just going to move this out right about here. So this dot right here is right on top. This one's right on that bottom yellow line. I'm a little bit low, but it's not a huge deal. It's close enough, I think. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Alt to make a copy. I'm going to put that copy right back where I found it using Shift to move it in a straight line. Then I'm going to hold down Alt on this copy and resize it so that it comes from the center. Remember, if I don't hold down Alt, it doesn't come from the center. All right, now let's select both of these. Hold down Alt using Shift. Let's make that in a straight line. And I want you to watch the center and make sure that those line up perfectly. And then it should snap together. It should say intersect right there. Next thing I'm going to do is switch to the rectangle tool. And then I'm going to create a rectangle starting right at this point and then ending it here. Give me like 5 minutes. Okay. So now I'm going to use the selection tool and I'm going to select all these shapes. And then with the direct selection tool, now that they're all selected, I'm going to click right here, drag down, and that just creates a shape. Now I'll click here, drag up, that creates another shape. Now I'm going to drag to here and to here. Now remember, this only works if it's all selected. So if you had a problem with that, that could be the issue. Now it's all selected still, so if I move it, it's just going to move everything. But so let's go ahead and just put it off to the side or leave it here for now. And now we're going to just deselect it by clicking off of it. Select this bottom area, like this, whatever that is, and just delete it. And what you're left with is just this. Let's use an eyedropper to select the yellow. Now let's create a rectangle using shift to make it a perfect square. Let's round these edges with this little white dot. And right about there. Bring it over, use the eyedropper to pull that red, and then the order's out so we can right click, arrange, send backwards. Or you can use control and the little bracket if you know how to do that. All right, make sure it's all centered, group it, put it in the middle there, and boom. All right, finally, for some extra credit, you get to find some other logos that you can recreate. Make sure that they're simple geometry, that it's not going to require a bunch of curves. Like the Nike logo, we're not quite there yet, but hey, for some extra credit, if you want to give it a shot, it's all about this pen tool. Click, and then you have to drag the mouse and click again. And then you come down here, click and drag, and click. Oops. And then you can take the direct selection tool and adjust these handles. Oops. Click on a point and you can adjust these handles to get it to match perfectly. And I feel like this one needs to be a little longer, maybe. So yeah, if you want to try the Nike logo, that would be that. But if you want to go online and find your own, that's totally fine. Make that black. And you have pretty good representation of the Nike logo. Pepsi one. If you want to stop watching now and do your own thing, go for it. But start with like a white ellipse. And then maybe put another ellipse side of it. So I just made a copy using Alt. I'm going to shrink that in. Probably start with something like that. And then really it's just basically a curve like this. And you can see that I went past, and that was intentional. Let me make that a color I can easily see. So I'm just going to bring that one over. Then I'm going to get this blue shape right here. And this one you have to drag and then drag again. A little wonky, so I'd probably just something like that. That's a little harsh. Pull that one in and just bring this one out. All right. Then I bring this over. It's about right there. Now I'm going to select all this and using the shape loader tool, I'm going to go boom, boom, boom. I just created 3 different shapes. And I can delete this yellow section. Then I'm going to take this middle shape, which for some reason is invisible, and just make it white. This shape is red, and this shape is blue. And you can see that that path is a little bit messed up right here, but all right. So now let me take this black circle to make it white, like all that. A little yellow line right here. Right here. Group it, Control D, and boom. Doesn't look like that's quite white, but whatever. Okay. There's the Pepsi logo. You can't really see it because oh, it has a blue square around it. Dropper range, send to back. Close anyway. All right. Thanks for watching, guys.